What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. If you've been watching for any amount of time, you've already known that. And if you've been watching for any amount of time, you also know that I have a very soft place in my heart for heavy equipment and the preservation of the old antique heavy equipment that built the world. Today, we have the opportunity to save another one of those pieces of equipment. I've just agreed to make a trade with a guy on the big orange Clark loader. Now, I know that's probably going to disappoint some of you guys, but this is something that's a lot more important to me. This is history. That Clark loader, while it's another old piece of equipment, it's not quite so old that it's rare or anything like that. And hopefully today we're going to be able to get this thing fired up and eventually onto a truck and trailer and haul it off to a place where it will be preserved in some form of fashion for the rest of eternity. So what we're looking at here is a Lorain TS25, I do believe, cable shovel. So back before hydraulics were really perfected, this is what you had. You didn't have all these fancy hydraulic rams and all that jazz. You had steel cables and friction clutches. Here's the operator's area. So I have no idea what any of these controls do. If we do succeed in getting this thing running, that'll be the next experiment. Is going to play around and figure out what everything does in here. I am by no means an expert on running these things. I have moved them around a little bit. As a lot of you know, I do own a Unit 1020 dragline, which is also a friction clutch machine, but I really never got to run it too much either. It's been on the back burner. The really cool thing about this machine is the power plant. Oh yeah. This here is a Caterpillar D3, I can't remember if it's 331 or 311. It's something like that. But this is the same Caterpillar motor that is in Caterpillar D4 dozers. And they put these things into all kind of equipment back in the day. Now, I don't know exactly how long this machine has been sitting here. It's sunk into the ground a little bit. The owner told me somewhere between 5 and 7 years maybe. So if you don't know, these old diesels like this, before they had direct starting really perfected, they all had pony motors. Now if you don't know what a pony motor is, that's this guy right here. This is a small gasoline engine basically mounted next to or on top of the diesel engine. So what that does after you get the pony motor started, it actually starts cranking over the diesel engine, and that puts oil onto everything. It builds up oil pressure, and it also preheats the intake manifold on the diesel engine. And then you throw a lever and it engages the compression on the diesel engine, and ideally it just pops right off and runs like a charm, and then you can just shut down the gas engine. I do like pony motors, especially if you're in a cold climate. Pony motors, if the pony motor runs correctly, you're pretty much guaranteed to start your diesel with a pony motor. If you have electric start and it's really cold, you're not got any guarantees. So up here in the center of the house, we can see our couple drums here for the cables. This is what runs the boom on the machine. Over here we've got a bit of a walkway. bunch of random old parts laying around in here. That must be our fuel tank for the diesel. You can see over here, it says Caterpillar on the side of the block there. I always think that's cool, those old engines say that. Back here behind the drums we have clutches. Bringing back one of these machines into service that has sat a long time is always especially fun because things tend to really seize up on you. And little things like this. That is a small oil cup, which there's probably about 10,000 of those things all over this machine, and the Lord knows that none of them have seen oil in quite a while. So finding all those and getting everything lubed up again is quite a challenge. I'm just sitting here looking around, kind of taking everything in, and I'm looking at this shiv. Look how much slop is in the shiv bushing on that wheel. Man, I think it's going to need a new bushing. So as you can clearly tell from the operator station here, this is back before OSHA was a thing. The only safety feature really to speak of on this machine would be this guard over top of what I assume is a chain housing. Other than that, you've got clutch packs directly behind the seat here. Everything is manual, just levers and linkages, but I'll give it it's reliable. There actually are some hydraulics on this machine. Look at this here. I don't know what any of them do. There, here we go. I just figured out what some of this hydraulic levers do. There's a tag here that's still legible. We got the house lock off, swing on, the pause on, steering left and right. Interesting. Maybe we might be able to just steer using this lever. That's pretty neat. That'll be much better than the way my unit 1020 is set up. This is pretty neat. Got the original old Lorain gauge in here. Oh, there's a fellow that's in my inbox somewhere that redoes gauges. I think he's gonna be getting this one because that's a neat one. But look how much dirt has settled down into the bottom of it over the years. That's a really cool gauge though. So I guess the first thing we should do back here before we start playing with anything is start checking all the oils and fluids. So I think the pony motor has separate oil in it. We'll have to check the oil in that. And then the same for the engine. Got antifreeze to worry about. I'm gonna look around on the house of the machine anywhere and see if there's any gear oils. I don't really think there are. I know there's some oil cups like that one right there that we need to fill up before we start really running anything. But other than that, I don't think it's going to take a whole lot. I have faith in the old Caterpillar, but it has been some time, so you never know what's going wrong. I love digging around in old machines like this and finding stuff like that. I can't tell exactly what it says, but I think it says July 1983 maybe. Maybe my mind's just making these things up. I don't know what that would be a date for, but it's in there. So I do believe that I am the third owner of this machine, and the people I'm getting it from said that this engine was pretty much new when they got the machine. That hour meter says 336.6 hours. That's a fresh engine. Well, here's the first letdown of the day. I went to check the antifreeze, and there's no radiator cap. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see in here at all. Probably not. And as you can see, it's pretty crusty in there. Really could use probably vacuumed out of there and flushed before I even bother to put antifreeze in it. Over on this side of the engine here, we got the oil, and it is potentially quite over full. So yeah, I wiped the stick off and we're way above full. However, it does say check with engine running. The oil didn't appear to be contaminated, so we'll ignore that for right now. Well, I cleaned off the model tag here, and I was actually wrong. It is a D315 engine. not a 311 as I was thinking. And I'm just put my hand on the pony motor here, and the pony motor does spin, but really seems like we got some bottom end problems in the pony motor. Well, there's good news on the pony motor front here. After playing around a little bit, I was thinking I was hearing a bottom end noise. Here it's not. It's actually the starter pulley up here. Something up in here is making that rattle. So feels like the pulley could just be loose in there, or could just be the way that thing is. I think it's a gear drive pulley or something weird. So not to worry. I feel a lot better about that. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to tell. Down inside the pony motor gas tank here, there is a teeny little bit of fuel left down in there, not very much. If I can, I'm going to drain it out, and if I can't, I'm just going to dilute it really good with some ethanol-free fuel, which, good lord, regular gasoline is expensive enough now. Ethanol-free is $19 a gallon where I'm at. But I got a buddy that's really into Caterpillar stuff like this, and he said that it's worth the money to run the ethanol-free in the pony motors. I actually just spoke to my Caterpillar buddy too, and he just happened to be off work today. He's going to come over and hopefully help me get this thing going, because he knows a heck of a lot more about them than I do. I'm going to go over this with you guys, and then I'm going to verify with him when he gets here. I know that this is the throttle, this is the decompression lever, so you can release the valves basically on the diesel engine while the pony motor cranks it over, and then this guy engages the pony motor into the diesel. This lever here I am not 100% sure about. Feels to me like it does something with the clutch down here. Maybe it engages the diesel engine into the gear case, which drives everything else on the machine. So that's what the levers do. Over here we have the off and on switch for the magneto, which is what gives spark to the pony motor. This is the starter button, because it does have electric start, but you can also wrap a rope around this pulley and yank on it and manually start it. Then we have a choke lever and a throttle. And yeah, machines of a simpler time, guys. There's not a whole lot that goes wrong on these things. I'm gonna keep going over the whole machine and putting oil in all the cups. There's a gear case right here. I'm gonna pull the plug on and see if it needs any oil in it. We don't want to run any of these gear cases without oil and tear something up, because talk about hard to find parts for. That is some dark looking diesel, if it's even diesel anymore. I think I have the valve off there as best as I can get it. So if there is any diesel in here, it's not gonna just dump everywhere. But oh no, it's still dumping everywhere. Dang it. Well, there's diesel in there. You can definitely tell it's old, but diesel's not picky. It should run. It doesn't look like it's got water in it or any algae or anything like that. I know these old boys up here that are selling this thing to me, and I wouldn't be surprised if they would dump used motor oil into this thing and burn used motor oil in it in addition to diesel. That could be why it's super dark like that. And that used motor oil in it will not hurt anything. In fact, it actually helps old engines like this get extra lubrication that the fuel doesn't have anymore. Oh, that is a beautimous thing right there. That's the oil plug in what I assume is the main gear case, and it is topped right up to the top and looks nice and clean. That's good news. So we need to fill this sight glass up with oil. And then once this thing's running, we'll be ready to go. There's a valve back there. We'll turn it on and it'll automatically oil up all the shafts and everything in here. Well, a buddy that knows a lot more about the gold cats than me showed up here. He took one look at it, says it's gonna fire right up, so I'm hoping he's right. I'm gonna climb in here and try to clean out the sediment bowl and a little bit of fuel that's in the pony motor. I'm gonna be sitting up on top of all these clutch packs. It's kind of a tight spot to wedge yourself in, but
Need some grease to get in there?
I'm gonna wedge all 6'2" of me into there. This is gonna be a tight squeeze here. I'm guessing the oilers for this machine were probably under the age of 10. Ah. Found another grease fitting, Mike.
What's that?
So I found another grease fitting as I'm contorting myself up in here. Oh, there's a cable poking me in the back. That hurts. Oh gosh, this is awful.
Yeah.
Man, I legitimately...
Where's your hat?
Down here. I legitimately don't know if I can get out of here. Gonna be tight. Alright. I got myself jammed in here. Found the dipstick for the pony motor. It is right on full, and it doesn't even look that dirty. Have a sniff. Does that smell like gas? I don't think it can on these, right?
No, it don't smell like gas.
That's good, 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 good. We're gonna try and get the sediment bowl off of here without breaking it. The gas in the sediment bowl doesn't look too terrible. You can see somebody's had some pliers on this thing over the years. There we go. Come right loose. Sort of. Oh, it's just like the 977. It's got one ear broken off, so you gotta be really careful. Oh yeah, that's some varnished up gas. Kinda just want to hang that in my truck as an air freshener. Dump that on the cables. It's good for stuff. A little bit of nastiness at the bottom of the sediment bowl, not bad. I'm gonna open up the petcock here on the pony end. Hopefully, any fuel that's left in there will drain out. She's a bit sticky. Ow!
What'd you do?
The coil just fell down into the center section of the house. I can't reach it.
The magnet did it?
No. You could probably get it from the outside. I just can't bend that way right now.
You need to get more limber up before you start working on this stuff.
Dude, I am in a tight spot.
Damn! We're in a tight spot!
Sure, hold it. I got the filter. Got it? Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll purge up. Well, I know how to. Well, I'll do this bottom as well.
He told me they always ran it dry when they were done.
Yeah,
but,
that's what we do on all our stuff.
Hold up, let me get the bolt. All right, take it away.
Oops. Don't see that.
We're already this far, might as well take this float off of here.
I'm sorry. 7 seconds.
Lies.
Nice. Hey, man. I know some things.
Ta-da! Yeah, my grandfather used to haul this machine around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Like when they owned it, or
When
before that?
Castellucci Construction owned it.
Oh, dude, this thing's like sentimental too, then.
Yeah.
Some respect.
I didn't know it until after I'd already agreed to get it. I was talking to my uncle last night. This gets stayed intact. Oh, this one's already boogered a little bit. Here, take that before it gets lost. Yeah.
Grab out. There.
Yeah. Ah.
Get in.
No, I think I got it. Yep, I'm good. I'm free. Woo. Alright, so we got the carburetor yanked off the pony motor here. And Buddy is just gonna clean it out and make sure there's no terrible junk in it. And yeah, then you should be able to reassemble and this thing should fire up. Alright, well, we had the carburetor part, cleaned it as you saw, got it back together. Just bolted it on here. Now, before we put everything else in the way, we're going to check for spark here. Hopefully. Nope. Plug wire off. Probably stick a wrench or something in there and try to jump it across. Alright, go ahead.
Contact.
Mud daubers in the belt, slinging dirt everywhere. I had one spark. Only seeing one so far. Yeah, I see a little bit. Seen a few.
Okay.
Nothing. That's weird. Couldn't be this perfect test setup we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got another one that time. Yeah, not consistent. All right, I got the fuel tank reassembled here, ready to go back together. Sight glass is all nice and clean now. The valve opens and closes really good. We blew out the fuel line from the pony motor to the carburetor, or from the fuel tank to the carburetor on the pony motor. And it's a good thing we did that because it was plugged up solid, couldn't get any fuel through it. And then I even scrounged around and found me a brand used fuel cap. I mean, that's got to be factory. I think that has a cat number on it. All right, well, let me crouch down into my little hut here. We finally got the pony motor all back together. I didn't bother to record it because you saw it come apart and it was completely miserable working hunched over like this. There's not a whole lot of overhead clearance here between the engine and the roof. So I'm 6'2", it gets to be pretty frustrating. Albeit Mike did most of the work. Anyway, about ready to dump some fuel in this thing and see if the pony motor pops off. You guys actually get a twofer on this video because you get a will it start on the pony motor and then you get a will it start on the rest of the motor. Buddy says it's worth the money for this ethanol free fuel, so we'll take his word for it. Well, that should be enough to get it going here. Gotta make sure if there's any leaks, we're not just leaking it everywhere. All right, here we go. I got a pop. I heard a pop. Oh, it wants to go now.
You're at Bendix, it kicks it out.
Oh, okay, I see. Get enough fuel. Oh, that's close. There's 2 pops. Oh, so close. Got to work the kinks out of her. Bendix is annoying.
It's coming.
Yeah, I figured. All right, so basically what we were trying to do there, now that the pony was running, we were trying to engage the pony to the big engine to start spinning the big engine over, and it didn't want to engage. Something, one of the shafts or something here, one of these controls is into an engaged position, which is keeping a load on that engine. All right, so the pony motor runs. Now we just gotta see if we can get it running long enough to engage it and get the big engine started. This is the real moment of truth here. It's all on Mike's shoulders. All right, should be good to go. We finally figured out whatever linkage was engaged there. We don't know what it was, but we figured it out. Mike, you ruined it.
All right. Hold on.
Wouldn't be out of fuel already, would it?
That's the one you put in there.
Half a gallon. Well, we put gas in it. Take 2. Contact.
I love it.
Man, that pony motor's loud. But that old kitty cat's sitting there purring pretty nice now. That thing sounds good, Mike. Beautiful. Not even smoking. This machine has some hydraulics on it.
See a hard line going right in the floor?
Oh, yeah. Yep, we got a little hydraulic leak there. Not much. Man, this thing just burrs though.
Yeah.
Got good oil pressure up there, according to the gauge. Now, full disclosure, neither me nor Mike here really are 100% sure how to run this thing.
Yeah, you got a big leak now.
Looks like it's mostly air. I think it's completely out of fluid. Looks like we're gonna have to patch a hard line. Be nice to pick the boom up and stuff though. But man, I'm excited about this thing. That thing fired right up actually. Really hard for you guys to hear probably over that pony motor. Those things are ridiculously loud. But this cat seems like it runs perfect. you go. Yeah, I just need to loosen that other one a little bit. Brakes work. I can't get over how good that diesel runs. I mean, that thing is not bogging at all when you start engaging things. No smoke out of it whatsoever. I don't think that hour meter's wrong. I think it's really 333 hours. That's a piece of history right there. You don't need swing brakes.
You don't want to go that way.
Worst come to worst, you just set the bucket down and we'll stop.
I want to set it right here.
All right, so without any surprise, sitting this long, not good for things. We'll go ahead and shut her down. Got the radiator, we had topped it off before we started. And it leaking out of the cap pretty good up there. And there's also a small pinhole in the front of the radiator here, you can see. I think it's the front. Oh no, that's the back. Well, it's squirting out of there now. So I have to take that thing off there and make it right. All right, so we had an issue where the crowd cable, which is what draws the bucket towards the machine, it would pull the bucket, but it wouldn't release the bucket. So we played around, figured out some controls, figured out the clutch packs here. Ended up really just needing to lubricate the shafts and kind of help them out a little bit with a bar to get them freed up better. And I think we got it going now. So we're gonna fire it back up and see if we can get the bucket to move completely full range of motion here. So the other issue we had was this hydraulic line that comes up through the floor here. It's got a hole in it and it was already out of fluid. It really didn't leak any, but you can just hear it pushing pressure out of that, kind of spitting and sputtering. So we're gonna have to fix that. We'll probably just cut it off, put a union in there, and then top it off with hydraulic oil for any of those hydraulic functions to work, obviously. And last but certainly not least, the radiator. The radiator has a leak in it. Spraying out right there after we shut her down. So we'll have to pull the radiator out and try to solder that up. The radiator doesn't seem like it's in bad shape or anything, so hopefully we can fix it without having to recore it or anything. The guy I'm getting it from told me his dad had it repaired probably 20-30 years ago, so it's not crazy old. You got a 2-block now. Here's where we pull a little too hard and snap a cable. Hey, we got it figured out. What'd you do? That is going to take some getting used to. That is a very, very different experience from running a normal excavator. You're running different winches, holding different brakes with your feet. It's a
Gotta be an octopus.
Yeah, it's a whole orchestrated thing in here. So gonna take a while to learn that, but it's gonna be a lot of fun in the process. Nice thing about these old diesels is they don't really burn too much fuel. They're pretty easy on fuel. Not a lot of power going on back there, and you can darn near idle them to do everything. All right, back up here for the second day on the old Lorain. And as discussed yesterday, we have a hydraulic leak and a radiator leak. So first thing I'm gonna do is start, I guess, pulling this radiator out. Good looking antifreeze in it. Yeah, that's the stuff right there. Delicious. All right, so this unit in front of the radiator here is a hydraulic cooler, which I don't believe this machine even really needs, but it's got one. Rather than disconnecting the lines and everything though, I think I can just pull the 4 bolts out and kind of hinge it over this way and probably hang it by a bungee cord. So this thing should be pretty simple to get out of here now. We got 2 upper support bolts, 2 lower support bolts here, and of course the top radiator hose, and we should be free. There we go. that's the last bolt. Should be able to just pull this thing right out of here now. Oh, I assure you this is a far sight heavier than the one in your car. So, I got really lucky in this hydraulic line that I just had sitting in my garage for years now. It looks like it's gonna fit perfectly. It's about 2 feet longer than it needs to be, but that's fine. We can coil up the excess somewhere here and hide it. Oh yeah. When they leak, they come right apart. Not a drop.
Mint.
Ooh, might need your pipe wrench here. It's gonna be a tight spot.
Damn, we're in a tight spot.
You ever seen the ones of these that actually have the hammer heads on them?
No.
Yeah, they
No.
make them.
Oh.
Much like everything, that was way more of a pain than it needed to be. Well, with the old lines out of the way, it's time to go fishing. Fishing for hydraulic lines, so got a magnet and a nut on the end of this string. Hopefully we'll be able to fish it and pick it up on the other side there and pull all this through. Kind of dragging for this one, yeah.
All right, we're in.
You're in?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's got to be plenty tight enough.
Give it.
Look at that. That is fantastic. Feels so good to use one of the things you've been hoarding for years. Well, we got the old radiator from the Lorain here in the bathtub. We're gonna do a bit of a pressure test on it here to identify where exactly the leak is coming from, and then we're gonna attempt to repair it. There we go, right down there. But I think we got that fixed. All right, well that was a major pain. This radiator appears to be very easy to get in and out, but appearances are deceiving. That little bottom radiator hose back here, it's a treat. A big guy like myself kind of can't get into there super well, and there's that vertical hydraulic tank thing in the way there, so that's another issue. But anyway, we got it in there and we're ready to fire this thing up now, and hopefully we'll be able to track this thing for the first time. It's a new day up here. Yesterday we worked this thing around enough to get the tracks all broken free and really steering. And yeah, so I just drove it out onto the hard pack here and it turns a lot better. So I went around and greased everything this time. I did all the track rollers on both sides. They all have grease fittings. The idlers, the sprockets, everything. And yeah, we're pretty much ready to hop this thing on a lowboy now. I'm pretty excited about it. What I'm gonna keep doing for a while though is just walking this thing up and down the driveway, because the more I run it, the better it steers, the better it tracks and all that stuff. So I need to get it really good and broken in, because to get this thing to the lowboy, I'm gonna have to walk it all the way down this long driveway, and this driveway goes down pretty good, and I'm gonna have to be steering quite a bit because it kind of turns the whole way. So if this thing doesn't steer, I'm gonna have a one heck of a time getting it down there to the trailer. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick crash course on how to operate a Lorain TL25 shovel here. First things first, you can see all the clutches spinning back here, so that means that we have it in gear basically, which I shouldn't have done that. I should have taken it out of gear. So that guy right there is your gear selector. High range is forward, low range is in the back. This lever right here operates the main hoist up and down. This guy here in the middle is your crowd, that runs the bucket in and out. This guy here runs your swing or your travel gear. Now to switch between the swing and the travel mode, you need to use these controls here. So right now I have it parked, which means the paws are on. The paws lock the undercarriage into place. So the paws are on. We have it in swing mode, which doesn't really matter right now if we're just parking. But before I can travel the machine, I'm gonna have to flip this up to the travel position, and then we'll have to keep the house lock on. The house lock keeps the machine from pivoting in place. So in conjunction with these levers here to run the boom, you have to use these foot pedals here, which are brakes. So this pedal goes with this control, which is the boom. That lets the boom up and down nice and easy. So without touching the lever, I can let my foot up a little bit and we can let the boom go down. So as soon as you let off of this lever, if you don't put your foot on that brake, this thing will come crashing down, which is not what you want. There's no safeties, no nothing. This is the real deal here. And the same goes for this pedal with the crowd. So we lock those pedals right now because we don't need them. And we're gonna flip this thing into travel position. And then we're gonna take the paws off and we should start traveling. Yep, and we're off. This control has a nice detent. Well, I think they all have detents. But I can hands-free sit here now and we're walking backwards. take lunch and still get out of the way. Find out how good Matt's skills are right off the bat. She's a beaut though, man. I like it. Obstacle 1's getting it down the driveway. Obstacle 2 is getting her loaded on the trailer, but I got faith in them. Attempt 1 was a little more eventful than I think we all hoped for. Matt's gonna try her again here once. Put a little bit of grip down on the trailer, trying to maybe keep it from sliding so bad. Looking a lot better.
Boom down just a little. There you go. All right. Even got it lined up perfect on the trailer. Nicely done. Nicely done. Hold back. Stop right there. Let me get a chain on this low side. Don't do nothing.
All right, got the lower side chained, so the risk of sliding off the trailer is no more. He's gonna try to swing it over and set the boom right down in there as gently as possible.
That should be good. That hook, perfect. Yep, got all the tension off of it. Chain her down.
Well, there she goes.
That was only a 2-hour ordeal.
Oh, man.
Got it though.
It's all right. They charge by the hour. It's fine.
You know what? We don't have to worry about getting it off.
I kind of do, but... Well, guys, that's not the end of the story, but it's the end of the video for right now. So we managed to get the old shovel loaded up on the trailer there, and it headed down to the National Pike Steam Show where I went with Let's Dig 18 and Mike from Dirt Perfect. And if you didn't already see, I was able to get Christine, my Galleon road grader, back together just in time to get her down to the show as well. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off for the last week leading up to the show, trying to get all these ducks in a row. Somehow I managed to pull it all off and got everything in there in time, and had a great time at the show. So next week I think you guys will probably be seeing a video about old Lorain here down at the steam show, as well as running around with Christine and Mike from Dirt Perfect and Chris from Let's Dig 18. We had a great time down at the show, and it was a great time meeting a lot of you guys. So if you haven't seen the videos from their channels, go check them out. I appreciate the help that they were able to give me here right at the end. I probably wouldn't have had any footage of getting this thing on the trailer at all if it wasn't for Mike and Chris. So big shout out to those guys. As always, guys, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. A lot of work went into this one. So if you liked it, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know I did a good job. And of course, if you're not subscribed, be sure you hit that subscribe button so I can see you guys all on the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.